Here comes Mr. Nobody walking down the...
Hello everybody. So yeah, I made a post about this, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make a quick video. I'm gonna put a link in the description below and a link, if I can, up here on one of these sides. So I've been spending some time and I've been doing some research, and because the one thing I wanted was a timeline of Tascams when each one was pretty much released. What would be really great is if I can get released and then discontinued, but that's getting a little more difficult to do. And the reason why that is because it's just hard to find out. Well, this one was built for this many years. So let's look at the thing here. So on my website, I have a Tascam recorder timeline, and I've split it up. And so some interesting things that I found. I'm just going to go through them. So yeah, so if you notice, I have a star here for rack mounted because the 234 is a rack mounted system. So one thing that really surprised me, I did not realize this, is now you can see here. Now this is the first 8-track. This is a reel to reel. The 388 was a reel to reel studio thing. The reason why I included it in this one is because technically it was a type of Porta Studio because it had the whole gamut. It wasn't just the reel to reel. It was the entire thing. It had a mixer and everything to it. So kind of neat. And I thought, well, that should be included. So that's one thing. That's like kind of the anomaly out of the whole thing. Like everything else is pretty much cassette until it went to digital, but this is the anomaly in the thing. There's two anomalies in this list. Secondly, I was surprised at how early the first 8-track was made, cassette 8-track that is, which is in 1988 was the 238 Simulcast, which I'm pointing at, which isn't there because it's getting fixed right now, but it will be back hopefully this week. And yeah, and then so like also the MIDI studio ones came out in 89. Now this I should put a question mark beside. I could not find a review on the original 424 anywhere. Sound on Sound, I had another one that I was going through, could not find a date for it. So I ended up downloading the manual for the 424. It said 1990. That seems a little early to me, considering that in 1996 they made the Mark II. So here's where the Mark II is. It just seems a little. Oh, this should be digital too. I'll have to fix that. It just seems a little weird because generally, if you know this, they have like a 2 or 3 year gap between them. Like, so 1996 to 2001. So that's 5 years. So yeah, it just seems weird. But that's when the manual had copyright 1990 on it. So that's what I put it there for. The 464, which is what I have, came out in 92. Yes, I knew that. So yeah, so the 91, the 488. I didn't realize the 488 was before the 464. It just seemed weird. I guess I had seen the Mark II, and that's why I thought, oh, well, that's weird. So yeah, and then so this one here, the 564 is also an anomaly because it is the first digital system that Tascam made, but it's also you need special CDs for. You need these Sony mini discs or whatever for it, but it's really, so this is another one that I want to try to get my hands on just to have it because it's an anomaly. So yeah, it should also be I should also have that highlighted. You have the 788, and then yeah, so then after that, the funny part is what I thought was interesting too was, so the Mark II, the 414 Mark II, made in 2001. That's when they released it. It ran until I think 2006. They pretty much cassette 4-tracks like this one, the MFP01 or and the Porta 2. They made these up until 2006. That was when you could. They were in the brochure for 2006. That's just fascinating. I just find that fascinating. But that's the way it was. So as soon as they brought out this DP01FX CD, which was the first one, they had the other two above it, which were didn't have a CD player. This one had a CD player. The other two were hard drive driven, probably USB. I haven't looked at them closely, but yeah. So that's where the digital era started. Was pretty much in 2004. That was like, okay, anything new now that we're making is going to be digital. And that's where we're going from here. I don't know why this is a completely different color than this one. They should all be the same color. But yeah, so that's when they made them all digital, and then we're at the model 2400 now. Yeah, so I did put in some blurbs in here, like the model 24 was released before the model 16. The model 24 was released in the winter, and the model 16 was released in the fall. That's pretty much how that went. I could probably swap these around just to make that clear, because that's the way it is in the brochure, that you have the model 24 first, and then you have the model 16 later in a different brochure, and then the model 12 was released a year after. So they kind of went from the biggest to the smallest. Kind of neat. And then they released the 2400 in 2024. And I said, yeah, still making multi-track recorders up until mid-year 2006, 2 years after releasing the 2488. And so, yeah, this was kind of a passion project. As I stated at the beginning, I do not know if this is 100% accurate. I was going by Wikipedia articles, Tascam brochures that I could find, reviews and Sound on Sound, and I think some other music magazine. That's what I was using to try to hone this in. There might be others. Now, Warhard Arts, Numb Thumb brought up this X24 or something, and it's actually like a full computer. This was something that they made in the 80s. And so that was like well, maybe not in the 80s, but in the 90s. So it's or newer. I gotta look it up. But either way, I saw it a few times, and I'm like, yeah, that's not really a Porta Studio. Yes, it is a rack-mounted computer. It is actually similar to a Studio Bridge with a monitor. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of an interesting looking thing. I'll have to pull it up at some point. Maybe I'll do a quick blurb on it. I found one online for $3,000. I'm not buying it. It's just I don't have the money for that. So, but yeah. So this is for anybody who wants to look at it. Like I said, I also have other stuff in here. So if you go to how to, you can look at 4 tracks, and then I have I did this a long time ago where I did a full list of if you have what 4 tracks you can actually do 4 out. So you can do each track out on its own, and then if you notice that maybe with some help, that is because if you do it you can do monitor line out, left, right, line out, effects out, and then cue or sync out if you're fancy enough. But yes, so kind of neat. I'm gonna see if I can find other information on these. So yeah, I don't think I have. I have the 234 listed. I think I do. I'll have to look. That might be one I'm missing. I got so many listed here. So, all right. That's my video today, and I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.